Is he? Yamcha, no! Tell me it's not true!
What is up, YouTube? My name is RSMario, aka the real Super Mario, bringing you another news roundup video. Alright, so this is my news show where I talk about pretty much everything. Mainly a lot of tech, YouTube, Nintendo news, and we do have some interesting news stories for you today. First off, we have Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has a very, very interesting pre-order bonus. We've got some interesting streamer drama involving Moist Critical, aka Charlie, and Sneeko, aka the ideological bastard son of Andrew Tate. We also have VTubers and Cannibal Mangakas. We have the continuing saga of Sony and Microsoft and their endless battle to see if Microsoft can buy Activision Blizzard, as well as information on the future of PlayStation 5. So, pretty packed episode today. Of course, you want to continue getting videos like this or any of my other videos, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me on twitter.com/rsmario128. Like the video, tweet, share the video, tweet, and I will shout you out at the end of the video, as well as subscribe, because a lot of you guys are not subscribed. We are moving towards 1,000. You know what I'm saying? I've been on YouTube for a long time. Maybe I can actually make a cup of coffee off this stupid platform. All right, let's get on to it. So first off, we have Amazon's pre-order bonus for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So I believe this one is actually in Japan, but it says, for those who pre-order Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom in Amazon in Japan, they will receive as a special gift a special bonus spoon. If you manage to snag the collector's edition, you'll get a spoon and a fork. So if you pay a little bit more money, they'll give you the fork to go with your spoon. All right. According to Wario64 on Twitter, these utensils will have Legend of Zelda name and logo engraved on them. The spoon comes as a pre-order bonus for the standard edition in Japan. However, if you want the spoon and the fork, you'll have to shell out for the collector's edition. Unfortunately, those outside of Japan won't be able to get the spoon and fork. There are some other pre-order incentives, though. I actually went over one in the one of my previous news videos. I believe it's a wooden not a plate, but a wooden plaque type of deal that you get from GameStop. And in the UK, all orders from my Nintendo store will get a special coin and a luggage tag. Yo, pre-order bonus is kind of trash nowadays, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Long gone are the days where you get like a cool little figurine. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you get a wooden plaque, or you get a spoon, a fork. You get a luggage tag. I'm like, bro, really? Do you think if I was traveling around, I'd be playing video games? I don't travel, nigga. Alright, so moving on, we have the bit of drama for this one. Now, usually I don't get into drama or like to follow drama because it's kind of boring, I'll be honest. And most streamer drama is stuff that can be handled privately anyway. You can just stuff that could be handled in DMs, but they decided to handle it out in the open. Like, I think there was one, drama was like, Jess Minks, the streamer, got drunk at a party, like the streamer awards after party, and like the other chick, like Cutie Cinderella, got mad with her. I'm like, this is stuff that you can handle in DMs. This doesn't need to be handled in front of tens of thousands of people. But it is what it is, though. But this drama happens to be interesting because it involves guns. So we'll start off with the deep lore here. So Sneeko, the ideological bastard son of Andrew Tate, and of course Moist Critical, aka Charlie, They're both streamers. They kind of work in the commentary space. At least Charlie does. I think Sneeko's more manosphere, red pill type of space. I follow both spaces a little bit. So essentially what happens here is Charlie does a commentary video on Fresh and Fit, a podcast that's also in the manosphere space. So, of course, being friends with those people, Sneeko decides to stick up for his friends and come at Charlie, eventually, showing off pictures of Charlie's girlfriend and all this other kind of stuff. So, of course, whenever you bring people's family into it, it does get a bit more personal. Never understand why people do this. If I'm going at somebody, I'm not gonna go and talk about his mama and be like, "Oh, I saw his mama at the dollar store. She got like spinal bifida. It's crazy." Like, no, I'm gonna go at this man. You know what I'm saying? So of course, in the drama, eventually, Moist Critical goes at the fact that Sneeko years ago, I believe about 5 or 6 years ago, went on a podcast and talked about how he was a cuck.
Imagine seeing the girl you love
get fucked.
You
love her?
Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah, I love her. I was about to say I love this bitch. I'm like, no, let me not say that. I love my wifey, my queen.
And you allowed the love of your life to get fucked by another man.
What happened to the other agreement?
I'm crazy.
The first time, as soon as I saw it, like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked out. I'm just like, I can't do that.
It basically said that he was a cuck and that he had watched his girlfriend get her back blown out by another guy, essentially. And so, of course, that pissed him off because, again, he's red pill, manosphere, he's got that machismo. So then he did this video replying to Charlie, basically waving a gun around and kind of threatening him in a playful way, but still waving a gun around and threatening him.
The day after I posted my response, he went on stream and had a huge unhinged tantrum and meltdown about the whole thing, and then he sent some of his viewers over. So I was joking with them, saying like, "Oh, you guys must have just stopped the cuties watch party over there at Sneeko's stream, right? Welcome, cucks," that kind of shit. And it got really under his skin in a big way, so he started dancing around with the gun and threatening to come shoot me. So he kept saying, "Oh, you're in Tampa, right? I'll come see you," waving his gun around and dancing.
You wanna watch my clips? Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips. These are the only clips I'm watching, you were?
So then, of course, Charlie rebuts with, no, okay, those aren't clips, they're mags, showing off his own guns, basically saying, "Come try me, bitch," essentially.
And I'm sorry to be that guy, this is like the grammar police of guns, but he's a fucking imbecile, you absolute buffoon. What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips, you look fucking stupid here.
So, yeah, interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. I now, don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm not going to pick a side here, because again, I mean, it is what it is. But Sneeko just reacted to this whole thing the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? There are other ways he could have went at Charlie for going at his friends than going at Charlie's family and loved ones. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are other ways Charlie could have went back at Sneeko than digging up an old interview from 6 years ago that goes directly against his, there are better ways this could have been done, but I just find it interesting I had to talk about it. It's been a while since fans of the hit anime series Naruto could tune in and watch a new episode of Kishimoto's legendary ninja classic, but that's now no longer the case. So in a post on the official Naruto website in celebration of the 20th anniversary of the original anime's debut, the first 4 all-new episodes of the anime will be airing in September 2023 for all fans to see. Unfortunately, the announcement did not include any details on what those episodes will be, though as suggested by Anime News Network, the story is expected to happen somewhere in the timeline of the original series to pump up interest in the reruns of the original series that will begin broadcasting in July. So, more than likely, there's a couple different things this could be. this could be some stuff that got skipped, like some manga, story that got skipped in the anime, like some filler stuff, you know what I'm saying? Or this could be like some episodes getting re-edited, you know what I'm saying? Because I believe in a different anniversary, what they did was they brought out like some episodes with some new footage. Like they had re-edited some fights or something like that. That could be what it is, but since it's 4 episodes, it could be something completely new. Alright, so now on to PlayStation news. So PlayStation 5 Pro is in development and has a release window. Alright, so a new report from Tom Henderson at Inside Gaming says that Sony is indeed again doing a mid-generation basically a mid-generation upgrade for the PlayStation. The PS5 Pro, which is currently in development, the report says that Sony will release a PS5 with a detachable disk drive later this year to cut down on the PS5 cost. And the PS5 Pro is actually a separate unit that may instead be out late 2024. Further information suggests that Sony has no plans for a PlayStation 6 before 2028. Because why would they? So let's see. So basically, this kind of works because the PS4 came out in 2013. The PS4 Pro came out 2016, about 3 years later. Then the PS5 came out in 2020, so that was 4 years later. So PS5 has been out since 2020. So this will be about the time where we should get an upgrade for the system. You know what I'm saying? Now 2024 seems a bit far off, seeing as that would be 4 years between the PS5 and its upgrade. But with the chip shortages and all the other kind of stuff, I can kind of see that. So, especially with, Nintendo's looking to do new hardware, the chip shortage is technically over, China's opened up, so manufacturing is good again, even Microsoft is looking to do something new. I'm not surprised by this at all, but of course, this is also a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. Alright, so back to the endless soap opera that is Microsoft versus Sony over the soul of Activision. So, why Sony says it can't trust Microsoft's Call of Duty offer, one word, Bethesda. I can't remember what site I got this from, but I think this is a business site. But it says, for months now, Microsoft has sworn up and down that it does not want to take the Call of Duty franchise away from PlayStation if and when it finalizes its proposed acquisition of Activision. But Sony is citing history of Microsoft's acquisition of Bethesda Softworks parent company ZeniMax as a primary reason why it doesn't exactly trust Microsoft. In a filing in the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, published last week, Sony pointed out that the European Commission's decision to allow Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax, in that decision, the EC cited Microsoft's planned business strategy in concluding that the combined entity would not have the incentive to foreclose rival console video game distributors by engaging in a total or partial input foreclosure strategy. Which basically means, in layman terms, that what they're saying is, in other words, basically what they're saying is Microsoft would not have any reason to withhold Bethesda games from any other console just because they own Bethesda, which turned out to be a lie. So in June 2021, Microsoft announced that the upcoming Starfield would not be available on PlayStation consoles, a move that led a Bethesda executive to publicly apologize to Sony fans. The upcoming Elder Scrolls 6 was also confirmed as an Xbox PC exclusive that November, just over a year after Todd Howard said such an exclusive would be hard to imagine. The FTC has also noted a portion of the EC report saying that Microsoft went back on its assurances to the EC. Technically, though, that portion of the report was less a promise by Microsoft and more of an assumption by the EC, based on reading Microsoft's own plans that an implementation wasn't key to the European Union's approval of the deal. So basically, Microsoft said they weren't going to do it, but then they reneged, which is why Sony does not trust them, essentially. Now, for this story, I mean, to be honest, I kind of get... This is the one moment where I understand why Sony is so hard-pressed to stop this. All the other stuff, like you might sabotage Call of Duty, all that stuff I see is kind of goofy. This right here is the perfect story that you need to use, Sony, to get them to stop this deal. Because they said that, oh no, it's all good, yeah, we're going to put the Bethesda games on all systems. Just soon as the ink was dry, they hadn't even put the paper in the little plaque yet, and boom, them games were gone from PlayStation. We will never get a Elder Scrolls game on PlayStation ever again, more than likely. So the possibility of something like that happening with Call of Duty is very possible. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they would lose out on a whole lot of money, but I mean, of course, losing out on money to weaken a competitor is not that much of a cost. But speaking of cost, though, so SquareEnix says that Forspoken sales were lackluster, many small and mid games underperformed. So the briefing primarily discusses the financial results of Q1 to Q3 of the fiscal year ending in March 31st, 2023. So technically, technically the end of this month would be the end of the fiscal year for 2022, because that's how fiscal years work. But focusing on the most recent quarter of October through December, however, given the briefing itself took place a week after the release of Forspoken, SquareEnix also makes a comment about the recent RPG's soon defunct Luminous Studios, which, that studio actually got shut down after that game came out. So net sales declined year over year in the HD games department subsegment, partly because of the release of major titles a year earlier had created a challenging year-on-year hurdle, but also because many of the new small mid-sized titles were launched this year did not perform as expected. Reviews for Forspoken, which released on January 24th, have been challenging. However, the game also received positive feedback on its actions features, including parkour combat capabilities. So it has yielded results that will lead to the improvement of our development capabilities of other titles in the future. That said, the sales have been lackluster, and while the performance of new titles in February and March release date will be ultimately determinant, we see a considerable downside risk in our 2023 earnings. So here's the thing. When I checked Forspoken was like one of the top selling games on Steam when it came out. Alright, which is pretty big, okay? Alright, I think the game sold pretty good, okay? Now, Square Enix has a history of having very high expectations for Western titles. Alright, because if you look at stuff like Hitman, they said that Hitman underperformed, and Hitman sold over 1 million copies. They said that Tomb Raider underperformed. Every Tomb Raider game that I know of that was released under Square Enix, so that was the big 3 HD ones that came out, all sold well over 1 million copies, but they didn't hit Square Enix's numbers. So the thing is, what was Square Enix's numbers? What numbers did they want this game to hit? Okay, I believe what it is that since Square Enix is a Japanese company, they look at other Western titles that sell like 2, 3, 4 million copies, and they think that their Western style titles will sell that, but it doesn't. Now, I'm not saying that Forspoken was an amazing game. It wasn't. It played like garbage on PC. It looked like a 10-year-old game, but I will say the actual gameplay itself was pretty good. I'm going to do a whole video on Forspoken for a different reason on my second channel, hopefully next week. Alright, so you know when I talked about that the brand new PlayStation hardware, how Sony was working on the PS5 Pro? Well, Microsoft also has a new little bit of hardware on the way. Turns out Xbox controller shaped barbecue shapes exist, and you could win a box of your own. Not an Xbox, a box of crackers. Alright. Shapes are apparently a cracker in Ireland that comes in like flavors like barbecue, chicken, cheddar cheese, bacon. And so now they have a barbecue flavor that is shaped like Xbox controllers. So you know that shape dust, that's always getting all over your Xbox wireless controller. Just me? Okay. Well, either way, the folks over at Xbox AZN, so I guess that's ANZ, I don't know, and R0 have teamed up to turn the tables and make it so that your shapes, which the crackers, are covered in Xbox wireless controller. That is written that way. I did not read that wrong. I know I'm not crazy. Okay, yup, a very limited run of BBQ shapes will be in the shape of a little Xbox controller. Is a real thing that's happening, and you could win yourself one of just 10 boxes by heading over to Xbox AZN Instagram and giving them a follow, and then doing the same thing on Arnott's Instagram page and tagging a friend in the post. Entries close on the 23rd of March. So yeah, if you are in Ireland or wherever shapes are, go over there and get you Xbox barbecue crackers. That's the only Xbox hardware you getting. Buy a PlayStation. Alright, so now we move into the controversial section. So, we've got a couple controversial stories here. The first one is a Cannibal Mangaka. So, anime fans horrified by cannibalism manga written by a real-life killer. So, the world of horror manga is often filled with terrifying monsters, gruesome deaths, and unthinkable acts of violence. This is coming from Anime Senpai, by the way. But even within this genre, there are certain taboos that are rarely breached. One such taboo is cannibalism. It is not something that you see every day, and for a good reason. Cannibalism is an act so heinous, so unthinkable, that it strikes fear in the hearts of even the bravest horror fans. Today we explore a horror manga that is not for the faint of heart, although it is widely known. Those who have read or heard of it have been deeply disturbed. Join us as we take a closer look at the spine-chilling work. However, we must give a final warning to those who are easily scared or those who happen to be very, very soft. If you are soft, this ain't for you. Skip to the next story. SidSnap, a popular Japanese YouTuber, recently shared with her fans about the manga called Sagawa. The story is written by a man named Issei Sagawa, who unfortunately committed a horrible real-life crime. The story of Sagawa is a manga that is about Issei Sagawa's experience when he went to France for higher education. He met a Dutch girl named Renee Harteveit, who was interested in him because of his voice and his French accent. Issei became obsessed with her and eventually invited her over to his home, where he tragically killed her. After Issei killed Renee, he committed a horrifying act of cannibalism by consuming parts of her body. Good lord. He even wrote and drew a manga series describing the taste and texture of different parts he ate. Additionally, he violated her body after her passing and was taken aback when he heard what appeared to be breath emanating from her. So maybe she wasn't dead yet? That's dark as fuck, bro. I ain't gonna lie. He cut and stored the body in a refrigerator after one day to prevent the body from spoiling. After the incident, Issei Sagawa consumed parts of Renee's body for several days. He prepared the body parts in various ways and wrote about the taste and texture of each part in his manga. He kept eating Renee's body over the past couple days, cooking it with different seasonings. Now, apparently, he was captured and he was arrested, but due to the rules of France, he was just deported to Japan. And in Japan, I mean, since he didn't commit the crime in Japan and his daddy was a bureaucrat, he was released. So, you know, I mean, I guess it's not just the American justice system that sucks, huh? But that's crazy, though. He ate a lady. All right, and I've heard about this a couple of other times in Europe specifically. Like, probably the most popular story of cannibalism like this would be a German guy who actually put out a, what do you call it? Like a newspaper, you know, ad for like somebody to eat him. And so somebody did. Somebody came, he put out a newspaper ad for somebody who, to eat him. And so somebody actually came and, you know what I'm saying, the dude, you know, let him cut pieces off his body and ate it, and they both ate it until dude bled to death and died. True story. Freaking crazy. All right, so that's about it for this. Of course, you want to continue keep getting videos like this. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button. Definitely subscribe because, you know, we on our way to 1,000. And as always, people, keep it real. I want to see you in the comments. I want to talk to you.